You ready?
I'm ready now. Go.
I'm Ivy Twitty, Secretary of Montclair State NAACP.
I'm Nash Green. I'm the Vice President of the NAACP at Montclair State.
Spell your first name and last name for me.
NASHGREENE.
I knew there was another E there. And what's your major, young man?
I'm a Justice Studies major.
Justice. Nice. I guess you're in the right organization. You're talking about justice.
Yeah,
Huh?
exactly. I'm
All
trying.
right. How old are you?
22 years old.
Nice. And what is your name?
Janelle Watson,
Spell it.
JANOAWATSON.
Genoa. Okay. Like this a lot. I'm just kidding. And what is your title in the NAACP?
I'm the treasurer.
Treasurer?
Yes.
Okay. How old are you?
21.
What's your major?
Athletic training.
What is it?
Athletic training?
Athletic training?
Yes.
You're a jock.
No.
All right.
She's an entrepreneur.
Nice. Introduce yourself.
I'm Kalima White, and I'm the president.
Right. Yeah, his name should be White. I'm just kidding. We got.
You're going to edit all of that out. Reverend Rutherford, I'm the pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Orange.
Hi, I'm Giovanna Boggins. I'm a journalism major.
All right. And so the reason I turned this back on is because we had the treasurer, right? And the vice president come in today, and you guys are here at Ebenezer Baptist Church in Orange on the eve of Thanksgiving, I guess, helping out, going out to do the homeless. The other thing that's interesting to me is, I don't know if it's relevant or not, Reverend Bill, is that we just had this cold Arctic blast that came through.
Right.
And all these towns issued this code blue, which is, code blue. Get off the streets, get off the shelter. If you're homeless, we catch you out there. We're going to not catch you, but we find you in the homeless. We're going to try to make you go inside, whereas a lot of homeless people don't want to go inside. Yeah. But, they figure for life, for health and safety reasons, they were going to make them go if they encounter them. And you're doing this, I guess, as we're still kind of in the middle of that, because the weather forecasted that another Arctic blast is coming, maybe with some snow this time.
Yeah.
So I guess the timeliness of what you're doing.
Yeah. So that is purely coincidental. Again, this was planned long ago by the NAACP. But with regard to that particular issue, we understand that a lot of folks are afraid of going in the homeless shelter. So we do what we can to open up our doors. But we also extend ourselves. So we bring out the coats and the gloves and the hats. And actually today they actually have hand warmers and foot warmers to go with the gloves and hats and the scarves to help people deal with the weather. But certainly we have to do better about housing for homeless. And this, my brother, is critical. We have plenty of money to build housing, not homeless shelters. Housing for homeless. We have plenty of money to feed the hungry. There is no shortage of resources. There's a shortage of the desire to use them that way. And so what we need to do is use our collective voice to let those that are in charge, the politicians that control those budgets, understand that they cannot have our vote if they're not going to treat the least of these as they would expect to be treated themselves. So I'm encouraging you and everyone that watches this, speak to your local representatives. Ask them specifically, what are they doing to address the needs of the homeless? And if they're not doing anything, you should tell them they cannot have your vote again unless and until they are willing to help out.
All right. I see you shaking your head, Mr. Vice President. You're not a politician, but I'm going to call you Mr. Vice President. But I guess you agree with what he said.
Yeah, I do. It's a tough community to serve, and there's an ever-growing need for it. And it's an ever-growing population, and I just think it's a very important thing to do. There's not a lot of people who want to do this work or are willing to do this work, so I think it's important to get every person we can get on board and working with us, and that's what we got to do.
How does your chapter or NAACP, do you guys normally always do things like this, or is it just, why did you decide to do this? You guys get together, put your head together, you want to do something, you need to find a place?
Well, we always want to do some sort of community service. This program that we're doing is new to this year, but hopefully we were talking about possibly making it an annual thing, coming back every year, and we should come back, more than once a year even, always working. And yeah, I think, we're always working to do community service work, and that's pretty much why we're here.
All right, listen, I was joking, and Reverend Bill was wrong. I'm going to put that in the video. Because I was joking about, the racial component or the makeup of your NAACP chapter. But I think it is very relevant because why does it kept? The NAACP was never all black.
That's right.
It's always been
a diverse coalition.
Of many people coming together. And you don't have to be the same race. You got to have the same values and the same mission, right? With W.E.B. Du Bois and those guys. So to see that has also, that legacy is going down through the years, that there are also people. I mentioned, I was thinking about that Cheney and Schwerner, right? People think
They
about
gave their lives.
yes, right? Two Jewish guys,
that's
kid,
right.
down there in the South, trying to, do voter registration, died, right, with the black guy. But we always hear about the black guy, and they forget that it wasn't just the black people who, people of color. who
Freedom
died.
Ride, Freedom
Yeah.
Summer, yeah.
Right? And so, I think that's very relevant. And so, to me, this is a great sign.
Yeah.
Right? And, and I also, in Irvington NAACP has a guy, he's a white guy. He's maybe the only white guy in the embassy. But
He
he's
comes
there
all the time.
all the time.
He's at every meeting. He's at every function. And so that support is critical. But on what you just talked about, Schwerner, Cheney in particular, they gave their lives. There was a time when people were willing to sacrifice something to do what's right. And it seems like that desire to sacrifice has been diminished over the course of time. I'm grateful that you guys came out early. They didn't just get here. This has been all morning. They've been working on it all week long and been planning on it for months. And so we need people that are willing to sacrifice something. Your time, your energy, your money, whatever it is that you can do. You've got to make a sacrifice for someone else, because there but for the grace of God go you. And I don't care which God you pray to, Allah, Jehovah, whoever it is, there but for the grace of God go you. So we all have to make a sacrifice. And if you're not willing to make a sacrifice, you're gonna probably find yourself in a position where someone has to make a sacrifice for you.
All right, good enough. All right, I'm going to wrap this up.
Sorry, I just want to say one
Oh, go
thing.
ahead.
I just want to say thank you to the Proper Bag Company out of New York. They provided a lot of resources that we do have today, from sweatpants to clothes to food. So they're based out of New York, but they came to Jersey to help us out. So big ups to them and blessings to them as well.
Yeah, Brown Paper Bag Movement. Wait, was it Merck? What is the address? What is it? What is the website or something?
They're on Instagram as Rapper Bag Movement NYC, I believe.
There it is.
All right.
So make a donation to them too if you can.
All right, I got one critique. PR lady, that's what your job. She just thinks she's what we doing. She's what we putting all that out. I'm just kidding. All right, so listen, we're going to wrap this up. And
Listen, make a donation to the Montclair State NAACP. They need it as well. These are all college students. They're giving up their time freely, and they could use your help as well.
anything else you guys want to say before this is over?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, that's very nice.